So here's another quick Photoshop tutorial. I've been playing around with the digitals from this year's December daily. I'm going to combine this paper, which was in the class kit for the product play side by side, and these circles, which I've bought separate as a digital item. And I'm going to make this paper out of the two together. So I just thought I'd share how I'm going to do it. These circles, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them separately, and then I'm going to make some half circle pockets out of vellum and stitch them on my sewing machine like this. So now I've sized these, I will be printing them out separately, but I'll show you how I do that. So let's make a start. So the first thing I do is I go File, New, Blank File, and I've put in the custom size of outside the page protector, which is 7 by 8.25. That's the size of album I'm going to be doing this year. So that brings that up on the screen. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this paper. So I drag it into there. Now it automatically shrinks the width down because it's a 10 by 8 paper, and it shrinks it down so the width of the paper fits on my new size of page. But I think these circles are too small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take hold of the corner and drag it out until I've got about 2 whole circles and a half circle across the page like that. But obviously I click done. Obviously that leaves me this bit at the bottom that hasn't got any on it. So I'm going to drag another page in, and I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to drag it across till I've got about 2.5 circles, bring it down, and then I'm going to try and blend the two together, which is somewhere about there fractionally. Might need to just nudge it down one way or the other. You have to just play about with it a bit until you get those red lines matching up, but that looks pretty close actually. I'd take more time if I wasn't doing a tutorial, but I think that is pretty close. But you can also use your arrow keys on your keyboard just to nudge it slightly left or right. So that nudges it left with the left arrow, right with the right arrow, and click done. So now that I've got those two layers together, what I'm going to do is I'm going to link those two layers together. So over on the right here in the palette, I'm going to click on this link button, click on that, and then I'm going to link it to that. So I clicked on the top one, and then I pressed this paper clip to link them two together. And then I'm going to right click with my mouse, and I'm going to merge those two that are linked. So that paper is now one sheet of paper. So that's what we've done there. Okay, so the next step is to make the circles the right size, because when I bring the circles in, you'll see they're too big now. So I now need to shrink these down, and well, maybe 2.23. Let's have a look at that. 2.23. It's maybe a fraction. It might be a fraction too big. That might put in there for a change. Might be just bring. I want to see the red outline, so I think 2.1. Yeah, 2.21, something like that. Click done. So I'm happy with him there. Bring another one in. So now I know what size I've got to shrink it to. It comes up in black at the corner, so I want 2.21. And that can go up here somewhere. Again, just line them up roughly. You can always use your nudge button. And then this one, 2.21 again. 2.21. Something like that. No, I might put him up there. Okay, done. And then this one here, I want to turn on its side and make it this half circle here so that it says story. So what I'm going to do is make it 2.21 to start with. 2, 1, something like that. And then whilst it's still, I click done, and whilst it's still got the blue line around it, I'm going to go up to image, rotate, and then across to free rotate this layer 90 degrees to the left. And then when I put it there, it'll sit in that half circle. Just use my nudge key on the keyboard, the arrows, to put it where I want it. That's looking okay. So I think we'll have another. Oh, we haven't got fa la la yet. Fa la la. Let's get fa la la in. Maybe we should have had fa la la up here. So we'll move Mary over here and put fa la la up there. So 2.2. Put it in that circle. Nudge with my nudge key. Yeah, that looks okay. So what I'm thinking now is, I'll maybe shall I get 2 more? Yeah, pick this up again. Let's pick this up again. Oh, I haven't clicked done. Put it on here, 2.21. Put that down there. Yeah, that's looking okay. That's okay, that's okay. I might bring that joy one down here. That one up there. Might get another fa la la one. Another thing I could have done is clicked on this fa la la, right click, duplicate there, okay, move it over here. Wow, that was the way to do it if you've got two the same. There we go. So say that's that page done. So now I'm thinking I'm going to print it out as two separate things. So the background paper with the Santa and the story on, and then a separate sheet of paper with these circles on. So if I go over here and I click on the eye, if I shut the eye on all the circles, oh no, said Santa was staying. Shut the eye on all the circles of the ones that I'm going to print separately. So this is my background paper. So I'd print that out. So I'd go File, Print, and send it to my printer. And then when I've printed that one, I'd hide the background and release the other things. So I'm doing the opposite now. So now I'm going to print the circles off. But if you look at this, you can't see the lower half of the circles for cutting out. So I'm going to click on the background layer and I'm going to pick a colour in the colours palette that's a pale grey so that I won't waste my printer ink. And I'm going to get my paint bucket and I'm going to colour the background. And that just makes these stand out so I can see exactly where I'm going to cut out. I think I'll be cutting these out with either my silhouette or with a die. So that just means I can see where they go. If I was going to do it with a die, that's fair enough. If I want to do it with a silhouette, I'd need to make myself a template that was easy for the silhouette machine to trace. So I'd need to fill those circles in with black like this so that it would know where to cut. So that's something that I would do if I was wanting to make a template for my silhouette to be able to cut those circles exactly. So that's how I do it.